Hi, my name is Dave Archer. I serve as Executive Director of the Basketball Coaches Association of New York. And one of the things that we do is address issues that affect coaches and basketball players in the state of New York. And then we put together a position paper. And I want to re-emphasize our thoughts about the reduction in the number of games. Recently, the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Central Committee voted to extend the reduction in the number of contests for an additional year. Originally it was just going to be for 2, but many of us thought this, once they get those games out of there, they'll keep them out. So now it is extended through the 2012-2013 year. We're very clear. We understand that there are financial difficulties in this state, but let each school decide what works for them. Maybe one school wants to cut something, another school wants to cut something else. Leave it up to the schools. We feel that this has been done unfairly, that it really doesn't do what it says that it will. We offer a strong alternative solution, and it just doesn't add up. So, first of all, concerning the fairness of this, it reduced the number of contests in all sports. That we understand. But say, for example, in baseball, they cut it from 24 to 20. How many teams in the state actually scheduled 24 games? As compared to basketball, who could schedule 20? How many actually did? It cut the number of indoor track meets. How many schools actually have indoor track? And if you go down the list of cuts, very few are affected, except for soccer and basketball, because those are the 2 sports that really did schedule the full complement of games. Big deal was made of these cuts and games are going to save $10 million. Let's look at that. What they have done is said, if a game was played, here's what it costs a team to travel on an average. Here's what it costs the home team to pay officials. Here's what it costs the home team to have event staff and so on. They then multiplied that times the number of contests, times the number of schools, and came up with a number of 10 million, which sounds like a huge number, except if you divide it among the 900 schools. And in reality, remember, most of these are paper profits because those games were never scheduled to begin with. So no other sports except soccer and basketball actually felt the reduction. And this is an unfair situation. We don't just complain about a problem. We offered strong alternatives prior to this even taking place. We understand the difficult financial situation, so we offered to meet, to discuss solutions, and the best one we offered copies our friends in Ohio who have what are called the foundation games, and our friends in North Carolina who have what are called the endowment games. Let's take Ohio. They came up with an idea, working cooperatively with their coaches, to have an extra game in all sports, and it had to be tied to community service. So the kids learned about community service, the coaches got to get involved in community service, the communities and schools benefited, whether it was financial gain from fundraising, or I know one school there collected eyeglasses, others collected food, and so on. It's been so successful, they're going to add, they're trying to add a second service game. And it didn't cost anybody anything because the money that was taken in at admissions covered this. In North Carolina, they call it the endowment games. Every sport can play one extra game, and the money that is made from that game after expenses, half goes to the State Athletic Association, the other half is split between the 2 schools. Now, my understanding is that in almost the last decade, they've raised so much money that this covers the expenses for championship events in all sports, and they have about $1 million in the bank. So we took these ideas, we wanted to call them the Buchanan Service Games, and we wrote and emailed the New York State Public High School Athletic Association and said, would you consider this? What came back when I met with the executive director? And I said, what's going to happen? She said, we are not interested at this time. I said, okay, but do you understand these games could make money? We don't need the money. So that really confused me, because you're cutting games because you're trying to save money, but we come up with an alternative of how you could make money and you're not interested. So we're going to continue to do what is right for the game of basketball, what is right for our players, what is right for our coaches, and try to get these games restored. Do you know, of all 50 states, the boys and girls teams in New York State Public High School Athletic Association play the fewest number of games? So what do you think when it comes to scholarship opportunities or even just opportunities to try out for teams if over a career you've played that many less contests? You know, it just seems unfair to our kids in general and to our basketball players specifically. So just wanted to make you aware of that situation. I challenge you to go to your local school district administration and ask how much did they actually save by the reduction in athletic contests. I think you'll be surprised at how low that number is compared to what it cost